Hi everyone, Brian Moore here. Thanks for tuning in. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the 3 elements of putting and the 4 skills of putting. I believe the 3 elements are reading the green or reading the putt properly, starting the ball on the correct line, and hitting it just the right speed based on the line that you've chosen. The 4 skills to putting are green reading, aiming, the stroke, and touch. And what I'm going to talk about in this video is more about the 3 elements and how they relate to one another. I'm sure you've probably been asked or asked somebody else how much a particular putt is going to break. And the wise old answer is always, well, it depends how hard you're going to hit it. But maybe a better question to ask would be, what is the range of the usable combinations of speed and line? So before we get into that, a couple of things we need to understand here first. We need to be able to understand how the ball actually tracks across the green and what are the key factors that determine how much the ball is going to break. And really there's 3 main factors that are going to determine how much that the ball is going to break. One is obviously the slope of the green. The steeper the slope, the more the ball is going to break. The second is friction, and basically this means green speed. These greens that are mowed down nice and tight will break more than a green that is slower, given the same slope. And the third thing is speed, but really maybe a better way to look at speed would be to call it time. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to go off on a little sidebar here. I think they got it backward when they came up with fast and slow greens. On a fast green, where the ball really wants to trickle out, it has to roll much slower to get to the hole. On a shaggy green where the grass is long, where you have to give it a wrap, well, the ball travels much faster across the green and then it comes to a screeching halt. Probably should be the other way around, but that's beside the point. It is what it is. So, back to what I was saying. On what we traditionally call a fast green, the ball has to roll slower, and therefore gravity has more time to pull it down the slope. So that's why fast greens break more than slow greens do. Once you understand what the usable combinations of speed and line really are, you'll have a much better idea of where to aim. And your aim, in turn, will always affect your stroke. So, what I've done here is I've set up a little test here that we're going to take a look at. Okay, so I've built a little ball roller here where we can see just exactly how much break we would have to play for this putt here. The stimp on this green right here, this green that I've built, is about a 12, and over on the other half it's about a 10. So we're going to take a look at the fast side here. And I've created a break, or I've created a tilt of about 2%, which is sort of a medium type break that you would probably find on the course. If you look out there a little bit further, you'll see that I've got a hole out there, a little white hole, and there's a backboard behind it that's measured off in inches. And I know it's very difficult for you to read this looking at a TV screen, but we're going to take a look at what the usable combinations of this 10-foot putt would be. I've got this measured off to 10 feet. So I've done a little homework here and figured this out already to save some time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to walk out and I'm going to turn this laser on here. And I'm going to beam it right to there. So any putt that's really much more than a tap-in, there's a 3-way negotiation going on in the back of your mind. Number 1 is having enough speed to get the ball to the hole. Number 2, how wide or how big is the hole going to be at that given speed? And number 3, if for some reason the ball doesn't go in the hole, how far by is it going to go? So we've got to come up with a usable combination, and I would say that that's somewhere between just barely comfortably getting the ball to the hole, and on the other side of the spectrum it would be where it rolls not more than about a foot to a foot and a half past the hole at the most, maybe. Anything more than that, you start to introduce three putting. So I've got this out at about 13 inches outside the cup here, and I'm just going to step in here and adjust this a little bit. And I've got that laser pretty much running right up the center here. And I'm going to roll one down here. Okay, so that right there was pretty fast. That's about as fast as I'd ever want to hit it. That one probably caught the center of the cup there. Let's just try one more here. We'll do that again. Okay, so that would have gone in. Now, had that not gone in the hole, it would have gone by quite a ways. So we know that about the fastest we could ever hit this putt and still hope for it to go in and still being safe is about 13 inches outside the hole. Now let's find the slow end of the spectrum here. How much break can we possibly play? Okay, so we're going to go up to about 20 inches now. Looks pretty good right there. Might even have to go a little more than 20. So just tweak that out a touch. Go even more. I'd be well outside the board by now. Okay, so we're getting close here. Okay, so that is probably at least 25 or 26 inches outside the edge of the hole there, which is beyond the boundary of the edge of the board. You saw I had to keep moving it over, and that last one there, the ball had just barely enough steam to get to the cup. We probably wouldn't want to go any slower than that because we would risk leaving it short. So what does that mean? Well, basically that means for you to have any chance of holding this putt, you've got to start the ball somewhere between 13 inches outside the hole and probably even just a little bit off the edge here. So let's just call it right there. So we've got about a foot range out here of the possible combinations of usable speed and line. If you started anything left of that ball, you're going to hit it too hard or you're going to miss low. And if you started anything outside of this ball, well, it's probably not going to get there or you're going to miss on the high side. So you can see the reason why fast putts on fast greens with lots of break are very difficult to make, because the range of usable combinations of speed and line is very small, number one. And number two, it's actually a long way from the hole. I bet most people would really be surprised to believe that the starting point here for an aggressive line is actually 13 inches and getting up to about, I don't know, 2 feet here maybe. Most people probably wouldn't see that much break, and because of that reason, they don't really know where to aim. So once you have a better understanding of what your usable combinations of speed and line are, then and only then can you begin to start understanding how to aim the putter. So that's what I'm going to talk about in my next segment. I'm going to give you some thoughts and ideas on determining, or how to determine, where the ball needs to start. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about helping you find a pace that you're comfortable with. I would say over here on the left side, on 13, this is sort of where Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson and Arnold Palmer, who are all very aggressive players, they're looking here, but maybe a Jack Nicklaus or a Ben Crenshaw or a Lauren Roberts, who are more die putters, they're looking out here more. So anyways, we know now somewhere in here that ball's got to start, and it's got to be with just the right speed. So thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time.